when you're trying to sell a property, I would recommend you do interview agents along with us.
Agreed. And you need to ask several questions that are really important. If you're asking these questions and you're not getting straight answers, you probably want to move on to the next agent.
Stay tuned. How about this one? Do you do this full time?
That is a really great question. So in Sarasota County, there are roughly 9,000 realtors.
Too many.
9,000. And it is just a couple-week class. You get your license and you pay the money to get on the MLS and you're a realtor.
It's kind of a low bar.
It's a very low bar of entry to get in. But what I would say is that most of those agents, the vast majority of them, are not doing this full time. So you want to make sure you have a full-time realtor that's not, well, I do this, I work as a trainer at a gym, or I'm a bartender.
Which we're not knocking that.
No. I'm saying, though, if you have a full-time job doing something else and you're trying to, real estate is a full-time job.
And then some.
And then some. We talk about all the time. We typically will start texting each other around 4:30 in the morning. We're usually working until 10, 11 o'clock at night. If you have a full-time job, you don't have time to be doing something else and not answering your phone and not making phone calls and not doing the things that need to be done in order to transact. It's a process.
And sellers, you need the time, attention, and the communication. I can't express. Communication is key.
100%.
And just so you know, that's one thing that we excel at. There was an issue the other day that we came across where the one agent was trying to set up a showing and she couldn't get a hold of the agent for like 2 days. To me, that's completely unacceptable.
Yep.
It's totally unprofessional. I'm going to call it out like I see it. To me, if I'm a seller, you're out. Like, if they knew about it, they probably don't know about it.
Right.
But to me, that is completely
not
okay. I don't even care the price range. It doesn't even matter.
Not being able to reach your agent is not okay. Like, I sort of pride myself on, I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you call me, I might be on another call or I might be in a showing.
You're
but if
busy,
if you don't hear from me in 30 to 35, 45 minutes tops, there's something wrong.
You might be in the hospital.
I'm
calling all the hospitals looking for him.
Right, because that's not acceptable.
It's not.
And what we're doing is realtors, you have to respond. You have to be responsive. You have to answer your clients. And that's
what's one of the pet peeves of, there's many, but if you get an email, and we're all busy, and it's good. You should hire a busy realtor. That's great.
Right.
But acknowledge it and say, like, listen, I'll set the tone that, like, I will get to this tomorrow, or if it's a Sunday or something, I'm trying to relax. We all need time off, right? I will at least respond and say, I will get to you tomorrow. And if I don't have everything by tomorrow, I will still at least follow up, a phone call, text, or email, whatever their preference of communication is, they will hear from me.
But not responding is not okay. That's just not okay.
It's kind of mind-blowing to me that's...
Well, it speaks to exactly what the question was, is normally what happens is, when I call an agent and I don't hear from them for 4, 5, 6 hours or until the next day,
for 4 or 5
usually
hours?
My assumption is, they have a full-time job and they're not doing real estate full-time. And right off the bat, if I have a buyer and they're the listing agent, right off the bat, I feel like I have the upper hand because they're not doing this full time. They're not transacting that many properties. I do this full time. All I do is negotiate all day long. So I feel like right off the bat, I have that upper hand. Again, that's another reason why you would want a full-time agent that's
100%.
doing this full time. Question number 2, are you an individual agent or do you work with a team? I think that's a really important question to ask. Typically, most agents, when they start out, it's just themselves, right? It's just them working on their own. When they join a team, or if in our case, we have a team of agents that work with us or for us, it allows you a little bit more flexibility to, if I go on vacation, everything doesn't just stop.
No way.
I still have Shayla. We have Shayla Lawler, her assistant.
Shayla's too.
We have the 2 Shaylas. We have, and we have other agents that work with us that nothing stops. So there's never going to be a time where well, I'm on vacation in Europe and you know,
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
on a different time zone. It doesn't matter.
Has no bearing.
There'll always be somebody on our
Yeah.
team that can assist.
And by
you,
the way,
so.
Shayla Lawler is licensed as well.
Yep.
And not only that, and even the people that are not on our team, like we have coverage. Like
Right.
that to me, like my clients are my priority.
Yep.
So when we sign a listing agreement with you, know that there's commitment on both sides.
Right.
Like, you know, what we say we're going to do, we do, we
Right.
follow through. And, you know, I want to under promise and over deliver in terms of the communication. I can't stress that enough. And the fact that you're getting several people covering you. And with that, we like to list our company, our properties. We feel like, you know, and because we have more bodies, shall we say, we are able to do the more hands-on approach that we feel like is just really curated for each individual client, not just in the luxury end of things, but all of our listings. We care about all of our clients equally. And us being there does what? Several things.
I mean, it allows us to really sort of control the situation. It allows us to sort of take a very, you know, we from beginning to end, it allows us to take a critical look at our
approach.
And we customize every single listing and every single, even our approach with our buyers, every approach is different. So,
and being there is just, we could go on and on about why that's great, but getting the feedback and the sense of the buyers, you can't really get that from, you know, an email. We get, you know, you can see it in their eyes if they like it, or if they were there 2 seconds.
Well, and what they're asked, the questions that the buyer is asking. Like if I have your listing and I'm there as a listing agent, and they start saying things like, "Well, we're going to put our couch over here," and I can
ding ding ding.
Those are all key things that they're
you
already
don't get that from the agent.
No,
doing the feedback.
They're already envisioning themselves in the house. You know, this is serious. They're coming with an offer, likely. You know, it's you have to be there. You have to physically be there.
And honestly, everybody needs a break. But even when we're traveling, which is, you know, for me, like a few times a year, for this guy,
it's a lot
more often. But that's okay. But like, if he has a listing appointment and he's in Europe, I'm here, and so we and even if we go together, like we're gonna do another European little tour here. For our global tour,
luxury stuff,
but we will have Shayla here as our team and our other agents as well. So just note that coverage is really important. Third question and last question. There are many more questions, but we just kind of picked and choose some of the more important ones, I would say. What is your average days on market and average price off of the list price? What's the contract price compared to what your average list price is, and why do we want to know this?
So what that's going to show is your agent's ability to one price it, 2 to market it, 3 to negotiate for you. So critically important. You can have an agent that's newer and they price the property well and they market it really well, and a really experienced agent comes in and absolutely just beats them up over price, and all of a sudden that $1 million home is selling for $800,000, and there's this huge $200,000 gap because the buyer's agent that was coming in was way stronger than the listing agent that didn't have any experience. So it's really important to ask that question. I think the average days on market is really important.
It's huge.
Because if that number is really high, what that tells you is that they're taking any listing they can get
at any price.
And then over time, they just start asking for reduction after reduction after reduction. And now you're just chasing the market down, and that's never where you want to be. You always want to price it correctly. And
we don't always get that.
No.
Some sellers are still in the past, shall we say, but you know, we work with it, but I mean, that will affect our average days on the market for sure.
100%.
And I'll tell you what, if you're with a part-time agent, those generally will be way skewed. You know,
they're going to have a lot more days on market because they can't show it. They can't go and sell the features of the house. They're not list accompanying. No. They're also, you know, they're going to get phone calls from people who have really quick, easy questions to determine whether or not that agent's going to bring their client to the property. If they can't get the answer, they're just going to take it off their list and move on to the next one. So the property's not going to get shown as often. There's just a ton of items that number will be a very key thing for you, that if you can look at that and say, well, gosh, this guy's selling houses between 20 and 30 days or 35,
which
40
is actually
days.
kind of fast in right now.
It's
as
really
we're
fast.
Here, middle of July, 2023.
Now, if you go back a year and a half ago, when the market was piping hot and everything was selling in 2 days, I would say still use it even then, because there were agents that had listings that were too high, and their average days on market were still astronomically high. That's a key indicator that the agent isn't very strong. So.
Yeah. Good questions to ask. We would love you to ask us those questions.
Absolutely.
We are full-time.
We are full-time. We are available. and I think our statistics for average days on market and list to sales price are pretty competitive. So
we're pretty good.
We would love to talk to you about listing or selling your home. You can reach me on my cell phone at 941-586-2460.
And I'm at 941-544-7690. We would love to also provide you with an equity update on your home.
Sure.
Zillow is not accurate. Neither is realtor.com
nope.
or Redfin.
No.
So there's nothing like boots on the ground, which we pride ourselves on, walking through your homes, helping you, with staging and all the things necessary to make that happen for you. So please reach out to us or click that link below, shaylatwit.com.